welcome everyone to another challenge cast reveal, this time for All-Stars 5. Now this All-Stars is going to be much different than the previous iterations to All-Stars. First of which, this All-Stars has a theme. It's not going to be individual, it will be a paired season, and there will be a lot, and I say a lot, more newer cast members than what we have previously seen in like All-Stars 1, 2, and then they've slowly been ramping up to having more recent cast members. Now I will say we do get quite a few people that we haven't seen in quite a while. This cast has the possibility of bringing the most drama we have seen in a challenge in years. Now, speaking of the cast, let's jump in talking about these pairs, these 13 pairs made up of 26 players that will be making up the cast for the Challenge All-Stars 5. Let's start off with some players that we just recently saw on All-Stars 4 together, and that is Adam and Steve. Both of whom were on the same Road Rules season, The Quest. Adam made his challenge debut on Season 5, Battle of the Seasons, while Steve made his challenge debut on Season 7, The Gauntlet. As I mentioned, they were both on All-Stars 4 together, where Steve made it to the finals, got 3rd place, and Adam was oh so close to the final, but he got purged right beforehand. It seems as though these two have never really seen eye to eye, and their rivalry was reignited on All-Stars 4, where, let's just say, Adam had a possible suggestion for Steve where he mentioned something about sitting and then also spinning on something. Now, something to note is Adam and Steve are one of 2 men-men pair on the season. The other man-man pair is Devin and Leroy. They both were briefly on Season 40 together, where Devin said that he didn't trust Leroy. He wanted him to come in last place to be sent directly into the elimination because he views Leroy as a snaky/sneaky player. Something that I think caught a lot of people off guard, even the audience, because I really don't have any other reasoning on why these two would be paired up for a rival season besides that little soundbite from Devin. Maybe this rivalry has been bubbling under the surface for years because Leroy was very buddy-buddy with Johnny Bananas throughout his entire tenure on the challenge, and Devin, for a while, was against Bananas. I think they make up a good pair. Leroy is the brawn, Devin is a champion and has brains, so who knows, maybe they can work well with each other and go far into the season, but they are the only other man-man pair on this season. The rest of the teams are made up of man-woman and woman-woman teams, as the cast is divvied up into 10 men and 16 women. Let's move on to Big T and Corey paired up with each other. This is very recent, as Big T and Corey were on the Challenge 39 together, Battle for a New Champion, where they were butting heads. Corey was calling out Big T and kind of throwing her under the bus the entire time, trying to save his own game when Big T thought that Corey and her had an understanding and were looking out for one another. Big T, as we saw in Season 39, was eliminated by Casey in the pole wrestle, where Corey made it to the final and got 4th place. How will they do? We'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. But speaking of Casey and Big Brother in general, let's jump to a Big Brother pair, and that is Amber and Faysal. Faysal made his challenge debut on Season 35, and Amber came in on Season 36. So, not too much of a difference, but there has been this long-running history with them, and I'll put long in quotations, but there's this long-running history with them that Amber wants to be in with the Big Brother crowd. They seem to always say, yeah, you're with Big Brother, and then she's always the outcast of the Big Brother group and kept at an arm's length, and we saw this happening in Season 37, where Faysal kind of betrayed Amber and the Big Brother numbers and kind of throwing her into elimination when she thought that she was cool with them. This resulted in a giant argument on Season 37. It ended up that Faysal would be disqualified for his involvement in this argument. This is probably the most athletic pair that we have on this. If they can just work together, these two could be a force to be reckoned with. I love Amber and I question Faysal at every single go, but I think joined up, they could be a force to be reckoned with. I truly believe that. And it stinks that if I'm going to be rooting for Amber, I'm indirectly, but also kind of directly rooting for Faysal at the same time. Two players that we haven't seen in quite some time is Sam and Frank. Both are from Real World San Diego. Both made their challenge debuts on season 23 Battle of the Seasons 2012. Both won that season, but both were also at odds with each other. They were on the same team. They just didn't see eye to eye. Sam was picked on. Sam was yelled at every single turn. And Frank was somebody who was always there to do the yelling or the pushing or the bullying. Sam never did another challenge since season 23, where Frank came back and made the final in season 24, came back for season 25, where he was medically disqualified. I'm very intrigued to see what Frank and Sam can do. Frank was somebody who was a master at stirring the drama up, but also very physical, very athletic, as well as very strategic. Does Frank still have it? We're gonna have to wait and see. Next up, we have Shane and Devon paired up with each other. Shane goes way back all the way to Road Rules Campus Crawls, where Devon is from Big Brother, and she made her challenge debut on season 32 Final Reckoning, where this is where this rivalry all stems from. Devon and Shane got into many arguments over the course of the season. That's the last time we saw Shane on the challenge, was season 32. And for a while, Devon said that she was not going to do any more challenge seasons. It's been a while because the last time we saw her was season 33. She did do some other shows like The GOAT. She's also been on the Challenge Official podcast. And here she is back on our TV screens. Shane and Devon are also a pair that I am looking out for. Shane has always been pretty sneaky in the way of causing drama, but also being able to perform. And Devon can compete. She went into multiple eliminations in season 33 because of her partner, but she was able to win and get so deep into that season that if she wasn't purged right before the final, she's most likely making that final. I say that this will be a sleeper team, and we should watch out to see what happens between Shane and Devon. Now, a pair that I'm still questioning what the heck is going on between them is Aneesa and Ashley Millionaire Mitchell. Aneesa, we just saw on season 40, winning against Katie in a pole wrestle, then losing out to Jenny in a very controversial elimination, not between her and Jenny, but because of what happened between Derek and Horacio. Now, we haven't seen Ashley in quite some time. A lot of people were saying that she was a notable miss in season 40. Well, she was kind of laying dormant until she got here on All Stars 5. And really, we haven't seen her since season 37 when she was disqualified from the game in the middle of the night. A lot of questions surrounded her disqualification on that season, but she hasn't been seen since. And this is her return to the challenge realm. I'm sorry, Ashley, that your return to the challenge is that you are paired up with Aneesa. It's kind of like Evelyn's confessional in Rivals season 21 when she found out she was paired up with Paula, and Evelyn said, I have to do the impossible. I have to get Paula to win a challenge. I feel like Ashley will have a near identical confessional in the premiere of this season when realizing that she is paired up with Aneesa. Now, I would talk about their rivalry, but I don't really know where it comes from. I don't know where this rivalry started. How does Aneesa and Ashley dislike each other? I don't know. I feel like I'm knowledgeable in the challenge history, and I don't know off the top of my head or even know when looking through their seasons together. But if you know, if it's some social media drama or some Twitter stuff or something that had to deal with Tori and Ashley getting into a fight or something, please let me know down in the comment section below, because I would like clarification on all of this. Now, speaking of an Ashley, let's go to another Ashley. That's right, there's two Ashleys on here. What is this, Invasion of the Champions? We got Ashley K and Dario. They're less rivals and more exes as they met up on season 29 Invasion of the Champions. They got really close with each other. They dated for a few months / few years, and then they broke it off. The last time we saw Ashley K on the challenge was Champs vs. Pros, episode 3, where she lost to Ashley Mitchell in an elimination. And the last time we saw Dario was in Dirty 30, season 30. It's been quite some time since we've seen them. I don't know what to expect from Ashley and Dario. The only thing I hope is that he doesn't get too hype on the season to where it costs him and Ashley the game. Next up, we got a heated All-Stars rival here, and that is Beth and Jonna. Now, this rivalry heated up in All-Stars 3 when Beth came into the game late, as she was a replacement. Instantly, when she got into the game, she started causing up drama. She kept calling Jonna by her wrong name, and then going around the bar, spreading the rumor that her and MJ were getting too close with one another. They ended up going into an elimination against each other, and Beth quit. Jonna is the queen of All-Stars, but I'm gonna say it right now, this is gonna be a really, really tough season for her. I mean, Jonna hasn't had the best of luck post All-Stars 3 and on different seasons of the challenge, and most of the time it was just her doing her own thing and playing her own game. Now she has to be paired up with Beth, and I think that it's just gonna be a little bit tougher for her to seek out that third challenge championship. But let's not discount Beth and Jonna just yet. I don't think we should discount any of these teams or pairs or anything like that. I'm just saying that I just don't have the most confidence in them when looking at the other pairs on this season. Let's move on to an OG rivalry. One that I've been so excited to possibly see ever since All-Stars have been announced, and that is Katie and Veronica paired up with each other. Granted, their rivalry stems so far back, all the way back to season 7, when Veronica wanted to send in Sarah and Katie over and over again in the gauntlets. And then we moved to season 8, where everything just collided with each other, where Katie was sent into multiple eliminations, thanks in part to Veronica and everybody else on her team. And yet Katie won so many eliminations to stay in the game, make it to the final, and win. It seems as though in season 9, they kind of buried the hatchet, but they were never all that close. But if there was a rivalry that we could have had on season 21 that I wish we could have gotten, it would have been Veronica and Katie. I think this was a long time coming. I don't care if they've buried the hatchet. I don't care if they've had 50,000 phone calls between Inferno and now. I don't care if they go to the flea markets on the weekend with each other and love each other. I love this rivalry pairing because this is the essence of a rivalry season. I love it. I'm rooting so hard for Veronica and Katie. We have our final 3 pairs, and all of them are relatively recent. Let's go now to KellyAnne and Sylvia paired up with each other. This goes back all the way to All-Stars 3, where it was Kendall and KellyAnne versus the Treehouse Alliance, where Sylvia was a part of that. And let's just say KellyAnne and Sylvia did not see eye to eye with one another. Both are really strong. I too think that they are a sleeper pair on this season, and I'm looking forward to seeing what KellyAnne and Sylvia can do. Let's move now to an exes pair, which is Melissa and Nicole Z. That's right, you thought you were going to get away from Nicole Z, but you were oh so wrong. Melissa and Nicole had a fling back in season 31, Vendettas. Then during season 39's reunion, Melissa got close and hung out with Laurel, which at that time was an ex to Nicole, which I'm sure kind of burnt the bridge between Nicole and Melissa to being best of friends. Melissa is a 1-time finalist. Nicole is a 3-time finalist. Nicole's final streak is on the line here. She's never been eliminated from the game if she's stayed healthy. Melissa and Nicole Z are a pretty good pair. I don't know how well they do with puzzles, but physically I like the makeup of their team. If they can work together, I feel like they would be a pair that can be intimidating to the other pairs of the season. And finally, a pair that used to be paired up with one another, liked each other so much, and then it all came crashing down on season 38. I'm talking about Nany and Turbo, who were paired up with each other on season 33. They were a really strong duo. They worked so well with each other. That is until they split apart and it became an individual game, and then Turbo had a big hand in how Nany was eliminated from that season. And then in season 34, Nany was trying to keep Turbo in the game and be that person there for him in his corner before he got disqualified on that season. And then Nany and Turbo had a giant argument when Nany and Bananas were in power and she went to be like, hey, can I send you into elimination? And Turbo got rightfully angry, understandably angry, being like, don't ask, because I'm going to say no. But you're asking me because you want to do it. And this once really strong pairing and friends disintegrated into rivals. And here we are today. I think Nany paired up with Turbo has all the pressure this season. She has gotten really close. I mean, she was so close in season 38. She had one of, if not the best partner she could have had on season 38. She got second place. I felt that season 38 was her best option of winning. And now looking at this cast and know that she is paired up with Turbo, who is a champion. Granted, if they are not on the same page and how they want to play the game, it will be difficult for them. But we've seen them paired up together, and they were incredible. I hate to put this out there, but if Nany doesn't win this season, I just don't know if a win will ever happen for her. I hate to put that out there, but it just seems like all the pieces are in place. It seems like the challenge is really putting her in a good spot to go deep into seasons with the partners that she has been given, along with the cast that has been assembled that they are a part of. I feel like this is the biggest opportunity for Nany to finally get that challenge win she's been wanting so badly. But those are all the pairs for the Challenge All-Stars 5. I'll be honest, I've had the most conflicting feelings about. There's times where I get really excited about the cast because of the drama aspect, but upon hearing it's going to be airing on MTV instead of Paramount Plus, where you get 40-minute episodes that are clear, crisp, and uncensored, and because it's behind a paywall on Paramount Plus, the challenge is a little bit more loosey-goosey on the edit. They're a little bit more goofy on the edit. They feel a little bit more freedom to keep in certain scenes and everything, and storylines and plot lines that we really haven't seen on the flagship show or MTV because of the bigger cast. Not to say anything bad about this cast, because this cast is filled with some really heavy hitters. I mean, you got 22 finalists on this cast. You got 11 champions. These players know how to compete, and they know how to make it deep within games and possibly win the challenge. I will say that when they put this cast together, my initial thought is that they are trying to put forward a drama, story-based season more so than more recent seasons. And so, thinking that this could be on Paramount Plus, I was more excited about this season in general because of everything that I mentioned that happens behind a paywall, seeing drama, uncensored, and all this other stuff. But now, hearing that it's going to be on MTV, most likely due to season 41 not coming out till late 2025, and MTV really needs another challenge season in between season 40 and season 41, so why not put on All-Stars 5 that we've been holding on to for a little bit and push it out onto MTV? The worry is that they could water this down. I'm sure that all these players are going to be entertaining. I'm sure that there will be some sort of drama and arguing. We'll see competitions and everything like we normally do. My worry, though, is will it be too watered down now that it's going to be on MTV? That's my only question. That's my real concern about this. I'm also very interested on how the ratings will look, given that this is an all-star season and we don't have like any key numbers for All-Stars 1, 2, 3, or 4 compared to how low we have seen the ratings get in more recent seasons of the challenge on MTV. So I think it'll be interesting to see the banner logo of All-Stars and then get to see key ratings for that as well. Will the ratings be higher? I don't know. There's a good amount of people on social media very excited about this season. I could also see casual fans being like, well, where's CT? Where's Johnny Bananas? Where's Cara Maria? Where's Jordan? And granted, this is All-Stars, but there is more newer players than we have ever seen on All-Stars. We have 7 players who made their challenge debuts on seasons 1 through 10, but also saying this, 18 players, well over half the cast, made their challenge debuts between seasons 21 and 39. 9. And some of those players we have seen on more recent seasons and pretty recently in general on the flagship show, to where I question, is this really All-Stars? I feel like this All-Stars season could feel less All-Stars than the other ones. 1, it's gonna be on MTV, and 2, seeing newer faces like the Big Brother players or players that were on season 39. I'm kind of on the fence about this one. I've just spent too many years doing these cast reveal videos, being either super hyped, and then all of a sudden it just like peters out by the time we get to the actual season, or halfway through the season, or a third way through the season. It's just not exciting. I think that this cast can be exciting, it can be unpredictable, but I remember saying that about Battle for a New Champion. I think it's gonna be interesting. Of course I'm going to watch it. Of course I'm gonna make reviews and recaps. Of course I'm going to put my all into this season, but I am very much going to stay on the fence about my hype level about this season. I'm not gonna get too hyped, but I'm also not disastrously pessimistic about this season, because I think a lot of these competitors, a lot of these pairs have the potential to being one of the most entertaining casts we've had in quite some time. But I now want to turn it over to you. What do you think about this All-Stars 5 cast reveal? Are you hyped? Are you a bit too hyped about this cast? Or are you a little bit more cautiously optimistic? Or are you kind of questioning this cast? Please let me know down in the comment section below how you feel about this cast. What do you think about a Rivals season? I love a Rivals season, so I'm gonna welcome this season, no matter what the cast looks like, but I'm also going to be just hopeful. I'm gonna be hopeful that the season is going to provide. But again, who are you rooting for? Which pair do you think looks the best? Which pair do you think could be the first boot? Please, no spoilers down in the comment section below, but I want to hear anything and everything you feel about All-Stars 5. What do you think about the season being on MTV instead of Paramount Plus? Let me know that as well. Do you fear that with it being on MTV, that they will water down the drama or entertainment value that this cast can bring? Let me know anything and everything down in the comment section below. I now want to give a special shout out thank you to everyone who supports me over at patreon.com/angelkvids. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who's watching this video up to this point. I'll be back really soon with more Challenge All-Stars 5 content, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.